Okay, so you guys know me and my son, we're making the drive up to Tampa. We're going to catch Monday Night Raw coming up, Amalie Arena, Ticketmaster.com. You can still get tickets. You got very affordable tickets if you want to take your kids, you take the whole family. And like I said, me and my son, we're making the short drive up there to Tampa here from South Florida. And of course, I mean, featured in one of the biggest stories heading into SummerSlam, Zoey Stark joining us here. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us, Zoey. I appreciate it. And not so bad to begin your run on the main roster, Zoey. When you
Not so
get
bad. Hold on, it's great.
well, yeah,
It's
when
better than
you get paired up to work. Hey, you're gonna work side by side with Trish Stratus, and you're gonna be in a feud with Becky Lynch. That's not so bad, right?
right, right. It's absolutely amazing. It really is a dream come true. Never did I think I'd get to work with Trish Stratus. Get to have her as a mentor. But looking across the ring and seeing Becky Lynch, it's insane.
Well, so yeah, so what's that like when they tell you, all right, we're gonna pair you up, you're gonna kind of be the muscle for Trish. Did you know her at all? And what's that relationship like? Because I mean, she's Trish Stratus.
Yeah. So I met her once, and it was just one of those things where I was backstage introducing myself to people, and she was super nice. And next thing I know, when I actually got the phone call to go to Saudi, I still didn't quite know what was going on. I just knew I was going to Saudi. And then Trish on the plane pretty much kind of looked at me and she's like, "Did you hear the news?" So it's like from there, she was super cool and she's so easy to talk to and learn from.
That's so cool to find out that way, right? Like, did
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
spend the rest of the flight talking about how much fun it's going to be to work together?
Yeah, definitely. On the flight there, on the flight back, when we went to the UK, we've been sitting there talking with each other, and these are long flights, so we got to learn a lot about each other on those flights.
How uh how how much of her career were you I guess familiar with? Like, main event in Monday Night Raw with Lita, first time ever the women main evented Monday Night Raw, which is kind of amazing. You go back and think about where women's
Yeah.
wrestling is today and that they were the first
Yep.
to do that. Like, how familiar were you with all that Trish had done?
Very familiar. So I grew up watching wrestling. I was a lifelong fan. It's all I've ever wanted to do. So when I have been able to actually sit there and work with her, it was mind blowing to say the least. But she's been super cool, and the fact that she will message me back and answer questions and help me out along this journey is insane. I am learning from one of the best to do it in the business. She, like you said, she with the main event that she did, that for me as a female showed me, oh, okay, girls could actually do this and be taken seriously. If there's, I'll say it, if there's no Trish Stratus, there's no Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch's career has been as amazing as it has been because Trish Stratus was able to do everything that she did.
So that was actually a thing for you. You were a young
Yeah.
girl watching those two main event Monday Night Raw and saying to
Yep.
yourself, this is something I could do. That was a real thing for you.
That was a very real thing for me.
It's pretty
So I
cool.
really do have to thank Trish for my career because she helped me realize that.
What did you, when you were at NXT, you knew or hoped that eventually you're going to be called up to the main roster.
Mhm.
What did you think Monday Night Raw was going to be like compared to now knowing what Monday Night Raw is actually like?
Well, I definitely didn't think I would be getting as much time on TV as I am now. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a slower transition, just a couple of things here and there, and then build into something. But I was thrown right into the fire with two of the top talent. So it's been a wild ride.
Do you have to like do you worry about jealousy in that regard? Because yeah, a lot of stars who come up from NXT, they're not getting the
Yeah,
time that
no.
you are.
No, I'm not worried about jealousy. I'm here for me, not for them. If they want to be in my position, they better work as hard, if not harder than I do, which is nearly impossible. I can tell you that right now. No one's going to work as hard as I do.
I feel like that's kind of the attitude that is needed in your business, right? Like I
Yeah.
always remember the story that Triple H told when he recruited Randy Orton, a young Randy Orton, to be in Evolution. He's like, listen, you could come in the car with us and everybody can hate you, or you can stay over there and we'll see what happens. And he obviously
Yep.
decided to get in the car and he's focused
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah, exactly. You in this business, you have to be completely focused on you. It is a selfish business, you know, and I'm not saying to be mean and be a dick to people, but you got to focus on you. We're spending so much time on the road and being away from the family. So I'm not going to be away from my family and my life just to be friends with other people and not go to where I want to go, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm here to be a top superstar and be one of the best in the business. So I'm going to be I'm going to do everything I can do in my power to make sure I get there. And that's working hard and that's being completely focused on just me.
So you're clearly not trying to be friends with everyone, but outside of Trish Stratus, who are some of Zoey Stark's friends that you like traveling with? Very tough business. I always love hearing about
Yeah.
the travel stories when I have WWE superstars on my show. Because we're a sports show, and while I do have an audience that loves pro wrestling the way that I do, I feel like so many of them don't understand the rigors of the travel. I feel like that they WWE gets you guys on a plane to send you to every city that you go to, and it's not renting a car in the middle of the night and driving 4 hours and then getting a few hours sleep,
Yeah, yeah. Some of the people that I love to be around, it's probably because we both came up in NXT, Casey and Caden. I'm always around them a lot. I've been hanging around like people like Shayna Baszler. She's super cool. Obviously, Trish Stratus. We're around each other pretty much all day when we're at Raw. Excuse me. Um, Chelsea Green's super cool. Sonia's super cool. Like all the girls in that locker room, they've been so welcoming. That's one thing I was not expecting how welcoming they would be. So they've been super cool.
I wonder, you're a lifelong wrestling fan. How do you experience Monday Night Raw? And what I mean by that is, do you get to see any other parts of the show, or are you just so focused on what you have to do that night that you don't even really know what else is going on?
No, I still get to watch part of the shows. I try to make sure I'm completely ready before the show even starts, and then I hang by right outside Gorilla. There's a nice little TV to where you can kind of watch the show and everything. So I'll sit right there and I'll watch and see what's going on and try and pick up any advice I could get right there. So I definitely like to sit there and watch every match that I possibly can.
How did it go when you told your family that you want to be a professional wrestler?
Well, they wanted me to definitely get a college degree and have a plan B. I think a lot of families kind of think that way. But I did not, I definitely didn't listen to that. So as supporting as they were also obviously very worried because they weren't sure if I was going to make it. It's such a small percentage of people who get to make it to WWE and be successful. But now, now that they see me succeed in everything, they've been like from the beginning of my career, great, very encouraging, but they wanted me to have a plan B. This was my plan A, B, C, D, this is all I've ever wanted to do. And they've been very supportive about that.
So how does it go when they watch you? Is it tough for them? Do they cringe? Do they know you're going to be okay? How does that go?
They cringe. They cringe all the time. And my grandparents, they watch every single Raw as well as my dad and my mom. And they always tell me how hard it was to watch certain things do, like the ladder match, especially because I tore my ACL in a ladder match. My family really gets worried when I do one of those again.
Have you thought in your head what it's going to be like in the future? You're going to fight for, the women's world championship and just that moment where you can envision your family watching that moment. Have you spent time thinking about that?
Yeah, my dream moment right there would be WrestleMania main eventing, my family in the front row. And then when I win that title, just being able and going over there and hugging them and just saying thank you to them with being how supportive they are. So yeah, definitely. I think a lot of us think about that moment.
So again, we got WWE Monday Night Raw, Amalie Arena, Tampa, Monday night. Like I said, myself, my son, we're making the short drive up there. Ticketmaster.com. You guys can still get tickets. Tickets are available. Do you pay attention at all, Zoey, to the bullshit on the internet?
No. So there was a point in time in my career where I was. and it was really starting to get to me mentally. And I my husband just told me I need to stop doing that, and I completely agree with him. So now I just try and keep it away, and I try not to look at it at all, because that will really mess with your mind, man. It will really screw you up mentally and make you second guess yourself.
Was
So you
there
just can't listen
something,
to it.
was there a moment in particular that just really screwed you up?
Not in general, because they all kind of say the same thing, which is very frustrating. But it's also, if that's their opinion, that's their opinion, and I know, either I'll win them over at some point, or they'll just hate for the rest of their lives, which I can't control that, so I'm not going to worry about them.
I feel like, I don't read the dirt sheets and all that stuff.
Hmm.
It's a little bit of a cesspool, as clearly
Yeah,
you are agreeing with.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of you guys, if you were to see stuff, and I know a lot of you guys do look at that stuff, and I feel like probably 99% of the time you'll see like a headline or a report from one of the the guys who write the dirt sheets, and you're probably saying to yourself, wow, that is just totally fabricated bullshit right there.
Yeah, yeah. I can't tell you the amount of times that I would read something and I just want to sit there and I want to say something back,
Yeah.
and just like, oh, F you mother effer. And like, you can't do that, because now they win. They're getting the attention that they were hoping to get, becoming the clickbait. So,
Do we enjoy being a baby face or a heel more?
so I was a baby face for even throughout the Indies and NXT for a very long time. So becoming a heel is super fun right now, and I'm loving every moment of it. Right now, I'd have to say heel.
Awesome. Again, Monday Night Raw, Amalie Arena, Tampa, Ticketmaster.com. Really great talking to you here, Zoey. Continued success. And like you said, clearly being thrown right into the fire upon your debut on the main roster. I think a lot of great things are ahead of you here, Zoey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you and your time.
Thank you.